Hey guys, welcome back to 100 Days of Wicca. My name is Christopher, and before I get into today's video, let me take a second and apologize for not having a lot of content posted in the last few weeks. My main channel is doing this big event for the holidays, so my focus has been over there, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't go too long without giving you guys a video. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than what I've been posting on this channel up until this point. Now, when I first started this channel, I had the intention of bringing a series over from my main channel that I had started over there, and it didn't quite fit that channel, and I wanted to bring it over to this one and make it a little bit more streamlined and make it just so that the information could be found a little bit easier. And it is going to be a series talking about the tarot deck and helping you to understand it a little bit more by going over the major arcana. Now, the major arcana are the cards in the tarot deck that don't fall under the classification of suits, so they aren't aligned with cups or pentacles or wands or swords in any way. So today's video is going to be episode number 1 in my new series, Understanding Tarot: The Fool's Journey. Now, the way that I want to do these videos is going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to doing, and I hope it's going to be something that you can just kind of have playing in the background so that you don't have to stop your day to learn about the tarot deck, because it's really helpful sometimes to have the cards in your hand and to be looking at the cards rather than watching a video. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to turn off the camera in a little bit, and I'm just gonna have a voiceover playing for you explaining the story, and then you can see it the way you need to see it, and I think that's gonna be really, really important. Now, as always, the usual disclaimer is that as a Wiccan, I have my own methods. They have always worked for me, but every Wiccan will always practice a little bit differently. So if what I say doesn't quite work for you, that is fine, and that's a great way to start a conversation down in the comments section of all of my videos, because these are not just videos, they're conversations, so that any new Wiccan, witch, or pagan, anybody at all that wants to follow in the craft can have a chance to learn and grow and develop. So if you have a different way that you like to practice things or a different way of understanding things, please let me know in the comments section below. And it is important to remember that I am just one witch. Don't take what I say as law. Watch these videos, use them as a step on the ladder, but continue your learning in as many venues as you can. And with that being said, let's get to episode 1 of The Fool's Journey. Enjoy. Part 1. Meet the Fool. The Fool begins his journey on a warm, beautiful, cloudless day. The sun is shining high in the brilliant blue sky above him as he walks along a high mountain trail. He walks unsure of where he is going. He only knows it's important that he goes somewhere. Somewhere other than where he is. Somewhere other than where he has been. He has a pack filled to bursting with the things he feels he cannot live without, and by his side, trotting along unconcerned, is his trusted and loyal dog. The Fool began this journey seeking happiness, seeking understanding of the world he inhabits, longing to understand the existence he experiences, searching for something to live for and something to give him fulfillment, something to make the air he breathes worth filling his lungs, for he has not been able to find happiness. He has not found pleasure in the world around him, and he sees this life as plain, filled only with conflict without resolution, questions without answers, pain without healing. The Fool begins this journey entirely unaware of the majesty that surrounds him. The sun glows too brightly and is too hot on his skin, worthy of complaint in the heart of the Fool. The rows of flowers in the fields nearby bring the buzz of bees and eyes that water, causing him to be even more blind to their obvious beauty. For the Fool, this journey is about getting away from trouble and emptiness. Although, he admits to himself, this may just be an escape. He continues to walk for hours along that high trail. The sun beating down on him, the Fool begins to feel flustered and angry. Soon he hears the nearby buzzing of bees, and as they approach curiously, he begins swatting at them furiously. His dog begins to bark, but the Fool notices the sharp sounds are being directed at him, and not at the bees. The fool, feeling betrayed by his dog, swats harder and harder at the little creatures, and the barking becomes louder. The fool, continuing his attack on these tiny beasts around him, realizes that the dog's barks may in fact have been a warning, but his revelation has come too late. He has stumbled to the edge of the path, which, to his instant dismay, lines the edge of a steep cliff, and in a moment of shock and rage, he loses his footing and falls, plummeting toward the rocky ground below. Even while he falls, he feels cheated, violated by life itself. This is so unfair, he thinks, as he sees the ground reaching up to hold him in a permanent embrace. The fool believes himself a victim to the end. His rage fills the inside of his head as a basin fills with water. He is so distracted with it that it takes him quite a while to notice that his fall has slowed and is growing slower still. Slower, slower, and slower, until, as though he had never fallen at all, he simply stops in midair. Had he received salvation, he wondered? Or had he died and was simply unable to understand it? What was this sensation he was experiencing? As he tries to understand what had happened, the air around him began to thicken, and the world that had only just moments ago seemed to be longing for the feel of his flesh, now seemed to be losing color. Everything he could sense was fading into a thick, gray nothingness. And I think it's the perfect place for a cliffhanger. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the very first episode of The Fool's Journey. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. That would help me out so much. Click over there to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. And as always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.